Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. Today is Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. I always have to think about that date, even if I know the date. Is it really Tuesday? I don't know if that's something about getting older or from working from home and only part-time at that. So sometimes the dates go, whew. I'm so glad that you have joined me for another Flosstube where we can chat about what's been going on in our stitchy world. Please share with me what you are stitching on while you're watching this. I have a lot to share with you. I have some, or at least one finish. Some WIPs, a new start, some haul. Okay, a lot of haul, a lot of stitchy, goodness to share with you, as well as what's been things that are going on and all of that. So there's just so much to get to. And I have debated on this first part. I cannot tell you, at least for about 4 days now, of what to say when I'm starting this, because here's the thing. Cross stitch for me is a way of escape, a way of letting go some of the stress and the chaos and just focusing on my stitches. Flosstube is a way to connect with other stitchers, and it really does help take away the anxiety, just sitting and stitching and us sharing something that we love, this hobby we love. And so I don't want to get into the political side of things. Obviously, I have thoughts and feelings. Everybody does. But that's not what I come to Flosstube for, and I'm pretty sure it's not what you come to Flosstube for. So I'm just going to share a little tiny snippet because I can't let it just completely go. I want to share with you my heart in case you want to know it. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm going to get right into the stitching. So if you want to skip over this and just wait until you see me hold up my little stitch, you're going to see blue and yellow being held up. Feel free to skip this part, and I am totally 100% okay with that because I understand, and I'm there with you. I cannot... In times of high stress, I tend to shy away from social media, and so I understand. But obviously right now there's a war going on, and so how can I not talk at least a little bit about it and about how I'm coping with it in hopes that it will help you, because I always want to share. I've shared this before, that a long time ago. I don't know if I've shared on this channel, but I started my blog originally and got the name Creative Blessings because being creative has been such a blessing in my life. It's one of the things that does bring me peace. It is something that helps me let go of everything going on around me and just fills me up so that I can continue to give from the stores that get built up, right? And I didn't think I was creative. I didn't think I was artistic. And when I discovered that I was in my own way, it was a huge blessing. And I wanted to share that blessing. So that's where Creative Blessings comes from. And being creative, aside from a 2-year, almost 3-year break for me, it was how I coped with things. During those 2 or 3 years when I could no longer create, it was really difficult. And that's where I made the transition, and now I ended up getting back into cross stitching because it was a very calming, soothing thing. So as we talk about, or as we think about what's been going on in Ukraine and how we can help, how I can help, how you can help, what can we do? There's not, I mean, I'm in the US, there's not a whole lot that I can do, but there are a few things. And if you want to join me in this and join others in this, you can. If you need to just not hear about it and not talk about it, like I said, I understand that too. So there's 3 big things that I've done. One, I always start with prayer. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe that there's something higher than me. I have to, because I cannot be all there is. I mean, I just can't. So to me, no matter what's going on in my life, the first thing I tend to do about it is to pray. So the thinking and praying, and I'm sorry, my printer is going off. I think my son's printing something out. So that's the first thing we can do, praying about it, and then thinking about the people that have Okay, my son was printing something out. That's something else I'll be talking about in a minute. So the first thing is thoughts and prayers. And when I'm thinking about them, I'm thinking about the people that are going through this, that have boots on the ground or that have skin in the game. I am thinking about our leaders and the leaders in Europe and praying that they will have guidance, strength when they need it, softness when they need it, and conviction to do the right thing. And then I'm thinking about the people like you and me. There are stitchers out there, and so just it seems so little, but I know it means so much. If you think about it, when you've been going through a rough time and someone reaches out to you and says, hey, you've been on my heart, I've been thinking about you, I've been praying for you, it means the world. It doesn't necessarily change what we're going through, but it makes us feel as though we're not quite so alone in what we're going through. And sometimes that's all the help we need and the strength we need to get through the next step. So that's the first thing that I do. The second thing that we can all do, and that I have done, there are lots of Stitch for Ukraine. We are stitchers, right? There are lots of Stitch for Ukraine things going on. Many designers have put out patterns, free patterns, or maybe you buy a pattern and they donate to a charity that helps people that are going through things. And I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. The thing about that, and I know that with all these free patterns, obviously there's no money being exchanged to go anywhere. You could donate in kind, you know, just whatever you would have paid for a pattern. But I think even more than that, what it has done and what I have seen is that people are stitching and then they're posting. And think about this too. I've been thinking about this too, that if I was in Ukraine right now and I am just kind of lost, right? And I maybe am scrolling through and seeing, if you are lucky enough to be able to still scroll through your phone, or maybe you're waiting in another country while your loved one went back and is fighting. That as you're scrolling, you're just trying to find something to keep your mind off what's going on, or to just settle yourself, to see people you don't even know in countries around the world stitching and showing pictures of your country's colors and your flag or your symbols, and they're saying stitching for you, stitching for Ukraine. I'm an American, so it says Stitch for America. That means a lot to me, and I can just imagine what it means to them right now. So just seeing that, and other people, so it's not just us, but the more we do this and the more we talk and the more we share, I think the more it helps. And like I said, I go off social media. I haven't been on there a lot. And so I do understand that too. When I'm able to, though, I will post that, because I can just picture somebody on the other side of the world seeing this stranger stitching something and thinking about them. So that's number 2. Number 3 is obviously, I think, financial donations. And making sure that they go to people that are actually going to help those that need it, the refugees and the people that maybe need food and water and resources and medical supplies and all those things. And you can donate to whatever you want, obviously. I'm not in charge of you. But for me, I try and look for ones that the money mostly goes to the people and not to just the organization, right? I want it to go to the people. And I know Samaritan's Purse is a really good one. I've heard a lot about, I think it's World Kitchen. Can't quite quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is, because I'm hearing it from different people in different genres, not just the cross-stitching world. I heard a lot about it from I'm not a knitter, but from other knitters, because there's a yarn company that was doing something for them before all this. And people just different walks of life. So I think that's another really good one. And you can vet your own and find a good one. And then along those same lines, we can help local Ukrainian stitchers. There are some on Etsy that have PDF patterns, and like I said, there's lots of other floss tubers talking about this, and they have better information than me, so I'll leave you in their hands. And on Instagram and on Flosstube, and not even cross stitch, but just all different people are sharing ways to help. But there's at least a few Ukrainian designers that you can support, and you can go on Etsy, and I typed in Ukraine cross stitch. I did come across some that aren't really Ukrainians, but they might be donating their, or they say they are donating their proceeds to Ukraine, to help Ukraine. And there's also some that are from Ukraine, but it's not their original design work. And so I need to do a little more research before, because I don't want, you don't want to take something that's copyrighted and the person who designed it isn't making anything. But I know Stitchy Princess off the top of my head is the first one, because I've seen her in different Facebook groups as well as on Instagram. And so she's a cross stitcher that's active in our community and has an Etsy shop, so you can go there. And even if you're not going to ever stitch that, you could just purchase it to support her. You could give that pattern to somebody else, or just do it to support. And so that's something else that I've done, and you can too. And along those lines, get to actual stitching. I hope you can hear my heart and understand my heart, because I want my channel to be comfort, peace, hope, and joy. Those are the things that I want in life, that I want to share in life. So I hope you are hearing that and that it's coming across. Because I do not want to just be preachy, and I don't want to dredge up things that we don't want. But we're getting to it. So yellow's not my color. I think y'all know that. Yellow and blue. Those are my son's school colors. That's the Rochester High School school colors. I know it makes a bright, bold contrast, but I do, however, like sunflowers. Sunflowers should be yellow. The sun should be yellow. I do, in real life, love yellow leaves. So what I have decided to do, because even though I don't love these colors, I almost did this pattern in a very soft sunflower palette, but decided against it, and instead went for the bright yellow, which is the color of the flag. And as I'm stitching it, I shared before, I'm praying for the people, I'm thinking about the people, but I also know that this piece is being stitched for somebody else. I will make it into something and give it away. I'm pretty sure. Because I do have friends that yellow's their favorite color. It's brightness, it's sunshine, it fills them with joy. So I can stitch it for them and stitch it for Ukraine and pass it along, pass on the joy, right? So this particular pattern, all I have is a pattern, so I'll just do it quick, and I've got notes on it and stuff. This particular pattern is from Violets and Verses. It's a freebie on the Violets and Verses Facebook group. And Jennifer Richardson said, she's the designer, here's a freebie. Please say a prayer as you stitch for the people of Ukraine. And that's what I've done. And it doesn't have a name that I'm aware of. I have it in my, what's this called? I have it in my cross stitch journal as Sunflower Prayers for Ukraine. So as I'm stitching, I'm praying, and I'm thinking about others, and I'm also thinking about who I might give this to spread some joy locally. I don't know anybody in that area, but I do know people here that have their own things they're going through. So let me see if you can see this. It might be. So I'll hold this up for you to see, and then I'll tell you what I used. The fabric is the Tiffany fabric from the Cookie Exchange Stitch Along that Kathy of Hands On Design put on, I want to say it was December. May have been late November and December. And she collaborated with some other people. Lady Dot Creates is one. For the trim, she did a board design with someone I can't remember at the moment. I'm drawing a blank. But this fabric is Fabrics by Stephanie. It's the color Tiffany. I got the Ada. It's a bright blue. I mean, like bright bright blue. Isn't that great? It's a beautiful color. And you could actually, I could stitch 4 of these if I wanted to. I wanted this to be an easy thing to stitch. I wanted to stitch on something that didn't take a lot of concentration, because as I'm working on this, I just need easy and joyful colors. So that's why I went with the bright colors as well. I'm not quite done, obviously. But so the fabric is, I think, 16 count Aida in the color Tiffany. I think I said that, but I'm not sure. By Fabrics by Stephanie. The thread I use, because the freebie doesn't come with thread suggestions, I just went to my stash and I used, for the blue, DMC 825, or I could have used 798. I have both of those. They're very similar. The other thing you could use is the Aqua Dyed Effects from Fabric Flare, and 798 looked better on that, I thought. And if I was going for a more muted sunflower, I had an Orifloss, is that what it's called? Orifloss, in a yellow that would have worked really well. And I might, that would be, well, I should wait till I get down there. I actually wrote it down. So DMC 825 or 798 for the blue. The green is DMC 505. The white is DMC 3865. And the yellow is Bestitch Me Sunflower, so I did it in silk. Or like I was saying, the Orifloss 2130 is a more buttery, a softer yellow, and I'm going to do that on the next one I'm going to share with you. And then, but I went with the Bestitch Me. It's a very bright, she had some bright yellows and oranges and pinks, and so I pulled out that. And the color is called Sunflower, so I just thought it was meant to be. The heart, the brown heart in the center, that's DMC 632. And so I just have, I think, 3 petals left. No, 3.5 petals. And then the border, the rest of the border around here. So I want to just say thank you to Jennifer of Violets and Verses for creating this. There are a lot out there. And speaking of freebies, the next one I'm going to do, because this will be done very, very soon. I just found this last night. This is by Madame Chantilly. She put out a freebie. Isn't that beautiful? And I thought about just doing the dove, or the dove and the heart. But then I'm thinking I might do just a softer yellow and do it just like this, or I could change the flowers even to pink. It doesn't have to stay the same, but I just wanted to say thank you to all of you that, oh, it's called Peace. Try to see if there's more. I just want to thank everybody who's put out free patterns or made patterns specifically for this. It gives us a great way to do what we love and to also help others. Here she has it just with the dove. So thank you, Rosanna Gallo. I think that's who Madame Chantilly is. Madame Chantilly, I love her stuff. Oh my goodness, she has stuff coming out of the market. I just want all the things. So those are my 2 Ukraine type things going on in my head right now. Like I said, there's others that I have printed out, and some that are just on my computer. There's ways we can help. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, maybe. I'm gonna try. Let's move on to our normal cross stitch stuff. Oh, there's a lot going on right now. There's Market just happened last weekend. What are you getting from Market? I am so overwhelmed by all of the wonderfulness of what has come out, the creativity of the designers from the past year. I can't even decide. If you were to ask me my favorite, I just can't even decide. I keep, all these things are running through my head, and I've got like 5 tabs open and different shops where I've added to my cart, and I do want to spread the love and not just buy them all from one. Although part of me is tempted to just buy it all from one, so you just kind of have it and get it. But then I also want to spread the love and buy from different shops. So I'm going, okay, well, well, from one shop, like from Just Keep Stitching, I want to get the Hello from Liz Mathews, because Steph of Just Keep Stitching, oh, I'm sorry, from Keepsakes, I want to get this because Steph, who works there, and her mom Pam do Just Keep Stitching on Flosstube. They introduced me to Hello from Liz Mathews, so I kind of like to buy my Hello from Liz Mathews from their shop. But if I'm going to order just that, I can't just order that. You know, I'm going to have to order other things. And then, you know, for the more, there's some that have kits. So I'm looking, Puntini had one. I want to get the pins with it, and I haven't yet found a shop that has the pins and the pattern. And it just might not be loaded up yet. So, Blackbird Designs, that there's one there that's definitely top of my list, and I just have to decide where I'm going to get that pattern from. But I think I'm going to get all my Blackbird designs from one shop. I don't know. I got so overwhelmed that I just have all these tabs open on my computer. Like I said, I don't know where I'm getting it from. So what are you going to stitch? What are you going to buy first? What are some of your favorites? And who are some of your favorite designers that you have seen? There have been some new ones that I haven't heard of before, and I'm excited to spread the love with some other designers. My cat Gandalf is wanting to get in here. You can see me through the window. Pretty soon my son will come in, and he'll come in too. So market has been going on. Common Threaded Stitcher. So on Instagram, hashtag Common Threaded Stitcher. Kia B does this along with several other creators, Instagram cross stitchers and floss tubers. And every day there is a new prompt, and you post your picture or your pattern or your, sometimes it's asking a story, and you'll or asking a question, and you will put your story in your Instagram feed. And so I've participated in that the past 2 years. So far, I'm not doing it this year. There's just been so much going on. Towards the end of the month, when most people drop off, I may add a few of my Common Threaded Stitcher things. But like I said, I haven't been a lot on social media, so I know I've missed a lot, but that's a really fun hashtag to follow. So hashtag Common Threaded Stitcher. Along with that, the Steel City Stitchers, oh, here on Flosstube, they do March Madness each year, I believe. I don't know how long they've been doing it, but I took part in that last year. That was a lot of fun. Again, there was just too much going on this month for me, the beginning of the month and the middle of the month, because there's more going on in a couple of weekends. So I just don't have the time to commit to all of these things, but that's a really fun one. They do brackets, and so you kind of do eliminations with kind of like, March Madness, college basketball, right? Sorry, don't really follow college basketball, but I think it's a college basketball thing where they have brackets and eliminations, sort of like wrestling. If you're a wrestling mom and or you did wrestling yourself, you start out with 2 pieces and then you go down, and so it goes, well, you start out with however many pieces. I don't even know how many they start out with, 10, 12. And then 2 pieces will compete against each other for the next bracket. And then those will compete against the winner of the ones below it until you get to a final. And then I think the goal is to have 1 piece FFO'd, fully finished in March. Again, that's another Flosstube channel I haven't caught up with in a while, and I just don't know why. I think there's just not enough hours in my day. I'll create this playlist of everything I want to see, and I'll be lucky to get through 2 or 3 of them before my computer needs an update and I lose it. So yeah, check out Steel City Stitchers to find out more about that, but it was highly motivating, and I think that would work really well with the no new starts. So if I do no new starts next year, I will put into my plans doing the March Madness, and I'll need to watch their video again because I only did it once and I changed how I did it last year. That was different from theirs. So I need to kind of watch and see what they have, but that's a good one to check out. Even if you're just wanting to check out and see what the others are doing. I'm not sure of the hashtag on that. Probably something along the lines of SCS March Madness, but I'm not sure. Check out their channel. And then let's go to, okay, this, because I'm bringing the cat in, so I'm going to have to pull this off or just accept that it's going to have cat hair on it. I did not make it to Shiplap Quilts to get this quilted. So Shiplap Quilts in Tenino, Washington has a long arm service, and I do want to take that in, but I just have not made it. Maybe this week. Although this week is, I don't know. Time or money. There's never a ton of both of those at the same time for me. So I do have this. I do want to get that quilted. February stats. Since I haven't filmed since, I think, I don't think I've filmed since February ended. I had 10 finishes, which means that I have 19 so far for the year. That's just 2 months in. I had 4 FFOs, so fully finished objects, and I think most of them are in here. I had the Hugs and Kisses. I had a pillow, which you can't see. I had another pillow. I don't remember what the other thing is. It's not in here right now. But I had 4 FFOs. I think it's out there on the counter. I have not taken down my Valentine's stuff. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. It's kind of springy looking, right? Maybe by the next video. So I don't have any bags. I didn't make any bags last month. It was a short month. I had a migraine headache. That's why I didn't film last week. I had hoped to plan the film, but it lasted like 4 or 5 days. And then I had a lot of catch up to do. I have photos to show you at the end, or videos to show you at the end of what we did this past weekend. All right, WIPGO, since we're in a new month. WIPGO, I'll share what I finished for January. One last time, well, for now, until I start the next Glitter House, but this is Glitter House Village, Glitter House 2 by Cottage Needleworks. My goal was, ooh, it's starting to slip. My goal was to get this house done, and I did. And I just want to thank, okay, when you post on Instagram and you tag the designer, so I tagged at Cottage Needleworks, and she responded, I fangirled. I'm like the designer. And then I felt bad because, you know, I had changed, was it this one? I had changed, sometimes I change colors. There was another one. It wasn't this one. It was another one. I changed the colors, and I'm like, sorry, I changed the colors. This one, I think I did exactly what her colors were. The problem is I can't see. I'm like, at this rate, I think I said before, I think I said on the post too, it's gonna take me 9 years. I mean, it took me 2 years to do this one and another year to do this one. It's going a little bit faster now that I have my light, now that I'm getting a little bit used to stitching on higher counts. The glitter is what throws me off, but it's also what I love about this fabric. This is 32 count raw silver Belfast linen. Whoops. So I will probably start the third one this next month, but I did, once I finished that, I took a break, give myself some time off. Hold on a second. So my son has his interview with the Air Force commander at 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock or 3:30. It's a Zoom interview. He's trying to get into the Air Force as a pilot. So when I say those who have, when you hear the term boots on the ground, it means something different if you have skin in the game. I'm praying for you, mamas. All right, and spouses and children. Okay, the next thing, this is Let's Do What We Love by Jeannette Douglas. My goal, my WIPGO goal, was to do 4 hours, and I did way more than that. I really enjoyed working on this piece, and I brought it to a finish. This is another one where I think Jeannette Douglas posted on my Instagram post, I'm like, you know, to me, I'm just a little nobody, right? And so it's weird when designers comment, but it's great. It's wonderful. So if designers are watching, yes, we see when you post, and it means a lot to us. But I felt bad. This is the one where I changed color. I only added one color, but I changed where I placed the colors so that it would go a little bit softer in my sewing room. And she commented, I love how you changed the love to a rose color, or she liked it, or whatever it was. And so I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, I hope it doesn't offend, because it could offend people that others change their design. They have a certain way they see it working out. But at the same time, this goes in our homes, right? So we need to make it work for us. So I changed the Quaker stars. I shared that with you. The only color I changed was classic Colorworks onion skin instead of the black in places like here. I also, this was empty slots, and I added it into the urn. I put it here on the acorn, which looked more like an avocado, the colors they use, so it might be an avocado, but I made it into more of an acorn. I don't know. I just changed a few little colors or color placements here and there. Again, the thread also had, I don't remember what color. It was one of these two colors. Red pear, baked apple. It's not on here. I don't know. I changed it though to 3 different colors, including these 2 colors of thread. I don't know if the heart was that color. It might have been. I really like how it turned out. So this one's done. Thank you, Jeannette Douglas, and thank you for commenting. I'm telling you, it really does mean a lot. Oh, I stitched on 28 count Lugana in color Mocha from Be Stitch Me. Hi, Gandalf. Kitty made it in here. And then, of course, new numbers were called. I haven't worked on them yet because I want to show them to you first. Not because I've been too busy doing other things. That's why I wanted to do a video last week. I want to show you where I started. Turns out, didn't do a video last week, and I'm still where I started. Oh, this is not it. This is not the one. Sorry, I thought I had them in order. That is another finish. This is the other one, I think. So the colors, I keep saying colors. The numbers that were called were 15 and 21. And for me, that's Flea Market Flowers and Quaker Snowflakes. On Flea Market Flowers, my goal is to get one of these boxes done. For example, like this is the one I was on. You never know when these numbers are going to be called. And I planned on working on this in the spring to summer anyways. So I didn't know which box I would be on, but my goal was whenever it was called to get one box done in that month. So I had just some leaves. Actually, this is the one thing I did work on. I had some leaves. I believe I had 2 or 3 done, and I have changed some of my colors. This is on a white, I think it's a 32 count Lugana. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the pattern itself is by Lori Holt. I am changing most of the colors. I put them on her thread drop, but I'm using the colors I have in stash and just kind of brightening it up a little bit, going more towards the pink and blue than the orange and yellow, although I will have some sunflowers with the yellow. So some of the colors are the same, some of them are different. I got this leaf done. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if this leaf was done, if it was outlined or something, but one of the leaves and then this little bit here. So my goal for the month would be to get this block done. Although it'd be great, I was hoping this would be done sooner and I'd get that big one done next that's underneath it, but I don't know which colors I'm going to change this to. I've been debating back and forth. I like this one stitched up much better than the picture shows. I've seen others that have stitched this in the called for and really liked it, but I am thinking about pulling in some purple here on this flower. So we'll see what happens. This is much easier to stitch because the holes are small. It's much easier to stitch when it's lighter and brighter outside, and we are heading towards those lighter spring, summer days. Oh, spring forward happens this weekend. Not a fan. Not a fan of losing an hour of sleep. But I have to say, the Huskies, they don't know the time. They think they do, but they don't know time. They've been getting up earlier and earlier because it's been sunny in the morning, earlier and earlier. So they're already adjusting me to the time change. All right. For Quaker Snowflakes, this is by Hello from Liz Mathews. And my goal is to get this to a finish. I have this bottom 2 rows to do, the one with the bird and the trees, and then the glad tidings and the little border. I thought about leaving glad tidings off, even though I really like this as glad tidings, because I feel like you could leave it out a little bit longer if I did that through the winter. And it doesn't even have to be, I mean, they're not totally snowflakes. They are mostly, oh, I guess those are snow. Like, they're kind of just Quaker motifs and stars, so it could stay out. I'll show you where I'm at. Oopsies. This went into timeout because I was really struggling. I wanted to add more color to the bottom a little bit, and I couldn't. First of all, I miscounted like 3 times. So it's stitching it in, pulling it out, stitching it in, pulling it out. And then I didn't really like the color choices I made. So I went back to the drawing board and pulled out some more colors. Oh, let me give you just a little bit more. I should probably pull out my, let's see how this works. So here's where I'm at. You can see I'm on that tree row. I just had some difficulties. I had miscounted somewhere in there. I actually had all of these leaves. Where's my pattern? I see I'm losing thread. I had all of these all of these leaves and the 2 flowers and the stems stitched, and it was wrong, and I was hitting into something else, or the bird didn't fit or something, and then I realized I'd done it wrong. So I pulled it out, and then I stitched it again and stitched it wrong a second time, and that's, I think, when I put it into timeout. Which was good because I was able to go through and get some different colors. I think what I'm going to do is use the color that I have here and put that into the tree, let that hang down, put that color into the tree trunks. And then I'm gonna do the flower in this, and then the bird, because I wanted it to look like it's a cardinal a little bit, have that pop of red with the bird. I really wanted that bird to stand out. I may also do the urn it's standing on in the same color I do the tree trunks. I've debated back and forth on what to do with that. It might also look cool to have it be more of a oxidized look, but getting the right color on that blue could be difficult too. Did I tell you what color this is? This is a 16 count Scotsman Ada from Be Stitch Me. The tag is wrong, but it is Scotsman from Be Stitch Me. I would love more of the Scotsman, although it is dark. And stitching on dark, again, can be difficult if I don't have enough light. It's another reason I put it away. Hi, Gandalf. Hi, buddy. So those are my WIPGO pieces. I'll make sure I'm not missing anything. I better get to work on it. What did I say the date was today? Is it the 8th? I haven't stitched anything in it. I had fun last weekend. Did I mention that? I had a really good weekend. So what else have I been stitching on? I've done a lot of stitching on this. Ooh-wee. Keep thinking it would be finished, right? This is on my WIPGO board for later, for whatever it gets called, to get the typewriter, and that's Just My Type by It's So Emma. I'm using the called for color and cotton threads. I may have changed, I think I changed one of the hearts or something. I think I changed one of the heart colors so far. But my goal is to get that typewriter done for WIPGO, whenever that number is called. But now I'm like, I want to get this finished. I love stitching on this Ada. Oh, somebody commented on my last video. Was it Phyllis? Was it you? That and more than one person in the last few videos has commented on that using Ada. And I just want to say, whatever it is that you are comfortable stitching on and you enjoy stitching on, stitch on that. This is supposed to be something that we enjoy and we love, and do what you can. I know that the 56 count craze, I'm going to call it a craze, has really taken over. And I'm thinking, I struggle on 32 count. I can barely see 36 count. No way can I do 56 count. Maybe I'm less of a cross stitcher because I can't do that. No, I'm not. My eyes may be lesser than yours, or the equipment I use, or the house where I live. I've been thinking one of the reasons I'm struggling to see is I live where it's often cloudy and overcast. That makes a difference. I need more windows. I need to just go to the beach and stitch. I need to move to the beach. All right, let's get more practical. Stitch what you love. I am really enjoying stitching on Ada this time of year, where it does get more difficult to see. If there are no specialty stitches or kind of half stitches or back stitches where I have to go in between holes, Ada is so much easier to count over. And this, I think, is a 16 count. And I'm going to try, I started with just the 14 count. I'm going to try the 18 count and see what I think too. But it's so much easier. It's just so much easier. And I love that. This is the whitewash board from Fabric Flair. One of my favorite Adas to use. That and the hand dyed effects is from Fabric Flair. I love both of those. So yes, I stitch on Ada. I stitch on, I'd say 28 count Lugana is my happy spot. That or Ada for different things. I love the look of the 32 count. Again, I prefer Lugana. I prefer that even weave. It's just easier for me. And I feel like my stitches look better on that even weave. And I know that linen is the standard, but I'm doing what I love, right? And that's what it's all about. So let's see, 32 count, but I struggle. And so for me, I'm reserving the 32 count for those maybe more special pieces, or at least specialty pieces, or pieces that are bigger, that I need it to be a higher count so that the finished piece is a little bit smaller and more manageable. But something like this, it works great. And these fun, whimsical, modern stitches are great to stitch on Ada. If you stitch on Ada, be proud. Doesn't matter what you do. If you stitch on Monaco, if you stitch on Jobelin, whatever it is, whether you stitch with the DMC, Anchor, Fancy Floss, Silks, stitch what you love and enjoy it. And I applaud you no matter what it is that you stitch. So this is just my type. I have made progress on that typewriter. I love the threads. Those color and cotton threads. I think I'm gonna pull the colors from this and put it on the new heartfelt stitch along that Fat Quarter Shop is doing right now. Like, it's a mystery stitch along where they're trying to raise money for Make-A-Wish, which grants wishes to kids. The one that they are supporting specifically helps kids in or around Texas where they live. But I think these colors will work really well because I love that green. At least the green and the pinks. I don't know that it really has that color in it. I'm thinking, but I think I just decided last night I'm going to do color and cotton for that. I haven't started that stitch along. I don't know. I have other things I have to get done. All right. I'm afraid I'm talking too long. I have a lot to say and a lot to show. Hold on. Come here. You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? This is my fat kitty. Oh, this is my fat kitty. This is my husband's kitty. Oh, ow, ow. Now he doesn't want to be held. He keeps pawing at me to get up, and now he doesn't want to be held. Ah, Gandalf, that hurt. So in the No News Starts challenge, they have had, oh, it was so much fun. I got so much stitching done too. But they have different games you play and different challenges, and it's based on stitch count. And then they'll sometimes throw something in, like stitch on something. This would be an example. I don't think they've done this yet, but stitch on something that has a cat on it, and you can deduct 100 stitches from what you need to do. That kind of thing. This last one it's kind of a shop hop, so you stitch to travel from shop to shop. So it's 100 miles, 100 stitches. It's not really that, but you get the gist. So the shop that I just visited, and every time you stop at a shop, you have them roll the dice for an item, and you shop for an item. So you get DMC, you put in 50 stitches to get the DMC, and then you post a picture in your album of DMC. It sounds, it is a little bit complicated, but it's also a lot of fun. So the last shop I went to, it said, tell us about another hobby you enjoy besides cross stitch and deduct 100 stitches. So of course I had to go with quilting. And then you don't have to do this, but I wanted to stitch on something that was quilting related. So I pulled out my Serendipity. This was the charity stitch along last year. This might also have been for the Make-A-Wish. Yeah, this was for the Make-A-Wish last year. So I figured I need to do this before I start the next Make-A-Wish. I have changed the colors. I don't know if that's clear enough, but you can screenshot if it is. For the yellow, I changed it to purple. Classic Colorworks Auras, O-R-A apostrophe S, Iris. For the light tan, I'm using light pink, is a very light pink, and that is a Weeks Dye Works Chablis, C-H-A-B-L-I-S. The green, mint, of course. I'm not a big fan of green, but I love mint. And for that, I'm using Classic Colorworks Mint Julep. The light blue, the dark blue, and the charcoal are all the called for. They're Weeks Dye Works Morris Blue, Sky, and Blackbird. For the white, I didn't have whitewash, Weeks Dye Works whitewash, so I substituted Weeks Dye Works White Lightning. And I'm also in that same number key or whatever it is, the same, well, you know, I don't know if you know, symbol, that's the word I'm looking for. That same symbol, I'm also doing bright pink, and that is Classic Colorworks Prickly Pear. It's the one I got from Uniquely Yours down in Oregon, that needlework shop I stopped in on my drive down to California, whenever that was. Everything's kind of running together. This is a piece of Mystery Ada from Be Stitch Me. So yes, another Ada. I find with It's So Emma, Fat Quarter Shop, Lori Holt, all of those work really well on Ada. Sometimes Stitching with Housewives has stitches that do not do well. Like there won't be very many, but it's more difficult on Ada, so I'm more likely to pull out Lugana. Same with Country Cottage Needleworks. They do French knots, so if you want to do French, if I want to do French knot, I will change it to, which I'm not very good at French knots or colonial knots. Anyways, look at that. That's the color. That's the purple color. It's so fabulous. So the colors are not going to read very true, but this is where I am on this. And I stitched and got myself to that needlework shop. I'll continue stitching. There's another stitching group, the Crafty Matriarchs, I think it is, that somebody, Tanya, was it you? Jan, was it you? Somebody on Facebook asked me to join or invited me to join. And one of their challenges is it's a daily challenge, which I've done one day. But I want to do it more because I think it's a really good idea. To stitch, the number of stitches corresponds with how old you are. So if you're 30 years old, you do 30 stitches. I'm not. So I really like that, to put those stitches in every day into the same piece and see how far I get. And I'm thinking I might move this to that one, although I might want to get it done sooner than that. This would be a really good piece though, to just put in the 40, I think I'm 46 still, 46 stitches a day and just kind of see where that takes me. Because this is on a higher count too, this is 18 count, I think it said. It's coming out really tiny, which is kind of cute too. I love those colors. All right. I wonder if this is, no. I thought Serendipity might be on here, but it's not. I planned on bringing that out for spring anyways. Here is a bag I made. I made this for the Coming to America. It's got a map on the inside. This is Cross Stitch Nation by Heartstring Samplery. Oh, Heartstring Samplery has a lot of, that's another company that had a lot of things out that I want from Market. I pulled this out to go along with the theme of just stitching for our community, stitching what we love, stitching within my hobby. So I was up to I had all the way across the title to N, and I finished Nation. Now comes the hard part, really deciding for sure what I'm going to stitch the different people in, because each of them are going to correspond to a different crafty friend, not necessarily a cross stitch friend, but a crafty friend. I don't know. I have a couple more whips, but I need to pause and help my son real quick. So Tyler had to suit up for his interview, but I was helping him with the lint roller because we have cats and dogs. You cannot do an interview for the Air Force with cat hair on him. What is... I think I made progress on this since I shared it last. Not 100% sure, but this is February sampler from Country Cottage Needleworks. Dun, da, da. It's a finish. I don't think it was finished last time. Love this one. The changes, or the one change I made. Well, I accidentally did February in pink. I just decided to leave it. I was over it. I was like, you know what? It's done. It should have been in white. The envelopes I did in Really Tealy by Classic Colorworks. I think it called for white. Not sure on that. And then I changed the hearts. They were all this red, and I added pink to the little hearts. That is probably the windows. I did that, the window panes I did in really tealy as well, instead of the called for, which I think was hickory sticks. Getting closer to having all of them done. The next one I plan on starting is the July sampler. I'm skipping March. It's super stinking cute, but I don't know. I don't really decorate for that. I don't know. I may at some point, but I don't plan on doing it. At this point, I'm thinking I might not. Because I already am not doing every month. I'm not switching it out in the frame because what I really wanted to do was to do them all in this frame, but that frame has been unavailable and it's really expensive. So I just started finishing it on different finishes. So I don't need to have every month done to switch out every month. Why do you keep clawing me if you don't want to? You just want to be petted? Anyways, the next one I plan on starting is July. And that leaves me just July and December, if I only do those two. My question, and you can answer, or my thought is, do I want to do July in this same aqua Dyed Effects? I've done several in this. That's better color back there, because it does remind me of the sky, which would be great for July, and the red, white, and blue. Or do I want to do it in a more coffee colored, where is that pad? Well, I'll pull out this because it's out of the plastic, that the whole thing is called for. I'm not going to do the beautiful beige Ada because I struggle with that one. But I may do my own coffee tea dyed. But for now, February's done. I have not yet started the next one. But getting closer. I think it'll feel good to have that done. I don't know. Hopefully. My next pattern, I told you I've worked on a lot. And it's funny because there's several days where I couldn't hardly stitch, or didn't feel like I stitched very much. This is Pink Barn by Shannon Christine Designs. I'm doing the entire collection, the Rose Farm collection. But for now, I'm working on this. I don't think I put a whole lot into this since the last time. Oh, by the way, just my... Jasper just crawled on the dining room table and almost got on Tyler's suit. I'm just about to have to wipe down his suit again. Every 5 minutes until a phone call happens. And I'm trying to finish up before that happens for him. I totally lost my place. I'm sorry. Oh, just my type. I think I forgot to share it in my last video, but I had worked on it. I forgot to bring it down. One of these I had worked on, but I hadn't shown my progress. This, I don't know. I believe I had the quilts in, but I believe what I did was the truck since the last time I shared this. Just little bits of progress here and there. It feels like it's slow for me, but I do enjoy stitching on it, and I know some of you really enjoy seeing it. But Shannon Christine Designs, hers are another that work really well on Ada. Really, they stitch up faster on Ada. However, I could not have done the quilt on Ada. There was too many, especially. So you have to just kind of look. Sometimes she'll have different stitches on there. Early Christmas morning. This is a WIPGO one that's already been called. I only had to do the border, but I do want to get this completely finished. This is my Blackbird designs. Sorry, I haven't been sharing what I've stitched all of these on, but I'm trying. This is stitched on Eggnog 32 count Lugana from Color and Cotton. Color and Cotton does neutrals perfectly. They also have threads in my favorite colors. Is it Angela that's Color and Cotton? Oh, I have to give a shout out to her. Oh, we'll do it when I get to that. Sorry. Squirrel. But I have to give a shout out to Color and Cotton. Don't let me forget, okay, guys? This is where I am at with my Merry Christmas. I'm doing it all as one piece. I broke up the border that would go around that drum or pincushion or whatever that was. I have added the animals and the snowflakes in the middle. And I'm just starting on the bow down there. Let's pull this through and down. Changing a couple of colors. I made the tree trunks brown instead of the colors that I think they just stayed the same greens that were in there. Also, that I think this is a dog. I'm not sure. To me, it looks like a little sheep. So I did it in the same gray that I did right here. But it could be a gray dog or a gray, whatever it is. Oh, it just looks like a little sheep to me. The deer is so cute. I really like that little deer. It's getting closer. I'm a little bit dragging my feet because now I have to rechart again how and where to put that Christmas. I had figured it out before I started, but I didn't take notes on what I figured out. I just went and started this one, and now I need to, like, yeah, I have to decide. So I'm dragging my feet. But all I have left of the main portion, I believe, is the bow. And then 20, the 20, and I did that in sparkly thread, which is a pain to work with, but looks so pretty. That was Early Christmas Morning by Blackbird Designs. My last two, this is Heartstring Samplery's Key to My Heart. I used Color and Cotton Cupid, Color and Cotton Dark Indigo, Color and Cotton Peanut, Gentle Arts Fern, or Silvery Fern, and Weeks Dye Works Strawberry Fields. I did not have the called for colors, and that's why I changed them. This is on a piece of Mystery Color and Cotton. Did I say Color and Cotton does neutrals perfectly? She does perfect neutrals. It's a mystery piece of Ada. One of the reasons I've gotten so much done is I have actually been stitching a lot on Ada. You could just get more done. I wondered how people get so much done. Well, if you're working on Ada, that could be one of the reasons. If you're working on a stitch count that's easy for you to work with and to see, that could be another reason. So this is completely done. And I told you there was a story, and I know I've been here a while, but there is a story to this. And one of the reasons I wanted to do it, and I had hoped I could possibly get it done for Valentine's Day. Obviously that did not happen, although I'm not that far off when I finish this, but I also thought this would make a really neat anniversary gift. So I will. So now I have until December to get this finished. But do you see this key? Isn't this beautiful? We went to my husband's niece's wedding, and on the tables they had sparkling cider and these keys on it as decorate. Well, we thought it was decoration. I'm like, I love those. And there's so many of them. I'm like, would they notice if we took one home? Is it a favor? Is it just decoration? I thought, oh, I bet I could go on Etsy maybe and find it. And I was saying that to my husband, I love that key. And so he took one off for me, and then he took another one off for me, and another one off for me. And his aunt was there as well, and she wanted one, but he had taken the two that were on our table. I'm like, you can't do that. You have to give her one. And they were going back and forth, and my husband and his aunt just back and forth with this key about wanting it and how it was just, they were having a blast with it. Because you have to do something to entertain yourself when it takes an hour or more for pictures, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. So they entertained themselves with like stealing the key. And I told my husband, I said, you know, your mom would love a key like this. And we were going to go see her the next day. And so he got one for her. But the key is actually a bottle opener. So you can open the bottle of a sparkling cider, which is what it was on, or whatever, wine, with these keys. And look, it's got a little heart on it. I just love it. So when I saw this pattern, I was instantly drawn to that key. and the fact that I knew I had this and wanted to finish it. So I don't know if I'm going to finish and have this actually on there. I could put a loop on there so I could loop it on, or if I'm just going to display them together like in a little wooden bowl or something. I think that would be sweet as can be. But there's my key. And when we found out that they were for opening up sparkling cider, he returned the key from the other table, but after everybody had opened it and they were just sitting around, he grabbed some more. He was so funny grabbing all the keys. They did announce that we could take those home. I thought it was probably a favor. So these are the threads that I have, and this is just, oh, I also got the finishing pack for this. And that fabric has little tiny keys on it. So that's all ready to go, and there's a definite plan before I even started this on what I wanted to finish it. I think the finishing, either the finishing kit or the pattern itself came with a key, so I could use that, but I knew I had this special little key. Love it. All right, my last one, I have moved my Winter Rose Manor into my very special bag from Wanda at Pinky Promises. Is that her Etsy shop name?
Almost time.
All right, do you need me to stop?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And to help me get the dogs outside without getting covered in hair.
Okay. I may have to finish this video tomorrow with my stitchy stash because my son's interview started early. So I got kicked out of my room. I think I was on Winter Rose Manor. I put this in my bag from Wanda at Pinky Promises. Yes, Pinky Promises on Etsy. This is this adorable bag that she embroidered the rose scissors on. It's a little bird. I love this so much. I still love it. So I had to put a special project in it. There's little scissors. I decided what's more special than Winter Rose Manor, and the fact that it's a little bit bigger means I can fit my pattern in it. This is by With Thy Needle and Thread. I can fit the silks, the Vicki Clayton silk conversion that I'm using. I have them for now on a project board. I ordered a pattern from Kari. Tiger Lily Designs has a pattern to make like a kind of like a project keeper, thread keeper bag thingy. And so I'm going to make one of those. But for now I have it on this board from Lori Holt. It's a 7x7 design board. And oh, that's extra. I'm going to say this fabric is from Be Stitch Me. I want to say it's not another sampler, but I don't think I have the card on here. I don't. All right. I didn't do very much, but it's been a while since I've showed this as well. And I just really felt like pulling out Winter Rose Manor. One of the things I noticed is in some of the places I've done 2 threads over 1, and in others I've done 1 over 2. Yeah, so sometimes I've used 1 strand and sometimes I've used 2 strands. So it works either way. I think this might be Jobelan, even though I thought it was Lugana. It feels different to me, so it could be Lugana, it could be Jobelan. And I just needed a few extra stitches. I love this one. I should pull it out more often. But obviously I'm working on a lot of different things, so there's only so many hours in a day. These are the rest of my silks that I have. So, oh, that's a lot of whips. I put a little charm on here too. This was on my other bag. So this is such a pretty bag. I love it so much. Okay. As for my haul, this is stitching adjacent. I shared last video that Kari of Tiger Lily Designs, she's here on YouTube as well. And she's another cross stitcher. She, what does she call it? she basically rescues vintage stitching and turns it into something else. And I had shared that I was looking for some vintage stitching of my grandma's that I could turn into a project bag or a pillow even. More like a project bag was what I was thinking. And didn't really find a whole lot. But Kari mentioned that she looks on Etsy. And so I thought, well, that's a good place to look. And I showed one that I got last week. Well, I got a few more this week. This is not cross stitch, but it is so beautiful and so delicate, and I love it. And they stitched all the way around this piece, this little hanky. You know what this would be really sweet with? Because I held a hanky in my hand. I had the bouquet. I had this wrapped around the bottom of the bouquet. It was my grandmother's. I had one from my grandmother and one from my great grandmother, and one was tucked like right up in here, and one I was holding that they had done work like this on. And this would be really sweet for a wedding. Not that you can get more of them because it's one of a kind, right? But I'll either turn that into a bag. I'll probably turn that into a bag. This is not hand done. It's hard to tell in the pictures. It is, but I thought it probably was machine done, and it looks like it is. It is a tea towel. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15. I really like this, and I think this would be, even though it's not cross stitch, it's, you know, cross stitch adjacent. And again, I could put this on the front or the inside of a project bag. And my last one is this piece, and then I'll have to pause again. This is a small square tablecloth. Isn't that pretty? I just thought this was gorgeous. I almost want to just keep it as a tablecloth because it's so pretty. It'd be so pretty on a table. But Kari does, oh, it's so interesting. Can you see how they stitch that around? That's the back. I just love this. This is really pretty. And so I'm torn between using it for its original function and repurposing it. I got time to decide. But I like Kari's philosophy to turn it into something that I will use every day. And really, it would probably be better in the house we have right now with the dogs always over the place to turn it into something. Maybe I'll put it on the back of here for a little bit. We'll see. Tune in. All right. I might have to film tomorrow if my shirt changes. You know, I didn't get to finish again tonight. I'll see you in just a minute. It won't be no time for you, but for me, could be several hours. Whew. With all these splices, it may take me forever to load. And now I notice the sun. Let's try and get through this, okay? Because this is exciting stuff. And I want to play with my goodies. So I got my Fine Floss. I guess it's called the Fine Floss Club. This is the February 2022 from Fat Quarter Shop. They're the MPI colors. Oh, I like those colors a lot. I got from Brandy at Bestitch Me. This is the February silk pack. Ooh. More yummy colors. I mean, that's one of the reasons I stayed through February, because you get the pinks. This has pink and coral and hot pink and peach. I'll pull it out of the bag. This is a shade of pink I just love. Isn't that pretty? Called Bubblegum. This is fun too. This has got, oops, basically a combination of all of them. It's called Life's a Peach. Be a really great flamingo color. So that's from their Bestitch Me Floss Club. This is Vanilla Latte. It's a 32 count Jobelin. Wonderful neutral. a cream color. It's not yellowy though, but just a really nice off-white, excuse me, cream color. I like that. And because it's the Jobelin, it's the 18 by 34. That's a nice big piece. I can use that a lot. This is a special order that I placed February 13th. It came from Canada. It's from Evertote. Have you heard of them? I think it was on a Facebook group, possibly the Stitching with the Housewives Facebook group. Somebody asked, what floss tubers do you watch? And I started clicking on those and finding new floss tubers. And one of them was I think she's the owner of Evertote. I'll have to look up her floss tube and try and put it down below. This note was sent from Hannah. And so I ordered, she was showing a kit that she had that I got, and Leo and Roxy floss, which I've been hearing about and wanted to try. And then she also showed the penguin chart. I don't know if I did get it. It'll be in there. The penguin chart from Modern Folk Embroidery and all those things that I wanted. So I went and placed an order. I told my husband, see, it's February 13th. I told my husband, I am ordering myself a Valentine's present. He said, well, good. He's such a good guy. So this is called Isabella's Heart. Isn't that pretty? This is also from Modern Folk Embroidery. So this is my first Modern Folk Embroidery pattern, I believe. I've heard lots of people talk about him and the stitching, or talk about this company. Is it Jacob that has Modern Folk? Yeah. I've watched one or two of his videos a long time ago, but anyways, this is the other one, and she was sharing. And at the time, my aunt and uncle, I call her my auntie, even though we're not related. I used to nanny her kids, or babysat her kids. But I got to go on a couple of vacations with them and watch the kids in the evening while they would go out to dinner. So became really close to their family, babysat just about every weekend. I was their daughter's drill team, or not drill team, cheerleader, what was it called? Coach for 1 year. And their son, their middle son, is named Michael. Our son is named after him a little bit. So we're really close as a family. And her and her husband just showed me what marriage could be, that it doesn't always have to be a fight, that it can be love and true love, not just the stuff we start with in the beginning, right? But the caring for each other if they would argue, it would always be, it was kind. It wasn't mean. It was, and there was so much affection for each other and true, like I said, true deep love and feelings. And so they recently went on her husband, Richard's trip of a lifetime to Antarctica to see the penguins. And that's when she was showing this chart. And I thought, I have got to get this. And possibly stitch it for Sandy. She said her mom did a little bit of cross stitching, and maybe I'll try and talk her into stitching, but I might stitch it for her. And then just this past week, another friend of mine, Becky, was showing pictures on Instagram, and they're doing the same thing. They took a cruise and they're visiting the penguins. So it was just a timely thing to get that chart. So I got those two charts from them, and it was inside the package, inside this cardboard. It isn't bent at all. Very good packaging. Isn't this sweet? It's got a little tag and a little heart. Let's see if the tag... Nope. The tag itself it looks like a picture of cross stitch. Oh. I have waited. This is the hardest thing was I got it and I waited to open it to show you so you can see my reaction again. Oh, the kit came with the pattern and your choice of fabric and a project bag, some stash tea, this cute little zipper pouch to hold your scissors and fabric and thread if you wanted. This little pouch, I'll open it in a second. You have the choice. They don't have Lugana, unfortunately. They have your choice of Aida or linen. And so I chose, and I think it was a higher count, 16 count, so 32 count linen. So I just decided to go with the Aida and figured I could do whatever I wanted. I might not even use this for the pattern. I might use something different, but to try out their Aida, I got several of their flosses. This is for the penguins. Also to try out black and white thread. And this, I don't know if this was for another kit or if I just chose some of the threads I thought I would like. Because they look like they would go together. And this bag, isn't this pretty? I may have ordered all the rest of it just to get the bag and the floss. It's just got a white interior, zipper on the top, which I think would be really nice if you use Q-snaps. And that's something I probably need to do to work on some of the higher count fabrics. And then this has a little sticker on it. This is for the, oh, I ripped the sticker. It's fine. I'll get over it. It'll be okay. Oh, it tells you. So it's Modern Folk Embroidery, Elizabeth's Heart, Leon Roxy Floss Co., hand-dyed Aida, Aida color blank slate, and it's a 16 count. So there's a code you can put in there to take the cost off for the Aida if you add Aida to their package. Look at those colors. Those are the colors in that Isabella's Heart. Isn't that pretty? So I'll probably just put this all in here and have it all kitted up. I'll have both of them kitted up. And I'm just going to pull out a couple of these. My family wants me to make dinner, but I just want to play with all of the pretties. Looks like bubble gum, doesn't it? A nice bright pink. Also the reds. So this is red with just a hint of pink in it. And then this one is closer to a true red with a little bit of raspberry in it. And then you have this really dark, this one's called Vixen. That pretty. I just saw the names. This is Cheeky. This is 11 points. I don't know what that means, but I think it probably means something. This one doesn't have a label. This is Teal We Meet Again. Love that. And a second one, you know, because I knew I was probably going to love it. And this is Unda da Sea Foam. Let me show the difference because they're very similar. Yeah, it's really hard to see on camera. This one's just slightly darker than this one. And it's not even showing up on camera. This is Storm Cloud. It's a white with just a hint of gray to it. And then Royale. Matches my shirt. Love all of those. Oh, I see someone let the dogs in. Hi. Hi, Lucy. What am I doing? She's like, why are you talking to your phone? Oh. And then I placed an order with Color and Cotton. I think this is embarrassing. Should I even say it? 3-4 orders with Color and Cotton. Recently. Very recently. I love their stuff. I really, really do. I discovered too, thank you, Angela, that you can put a code on there when you place an order, something like with the club shipment, so that if you're getting a club shipment, you don't have to pay extra shipping. She'll put it in with your upcoming club shipment. So that's going to save me. So she had some February 2022 thread club. This is the all colors 3 skeins. You know I love that. Ooh, look how cute. Look how... It's so amazing to me how many different colors there are, and I love it. Along with that, she had some extra aged paper, which I got. This is in a 16 count Ada and passion fruit. Is that what it says? Special edition passion fruit. Oh. Oh. And then I told you I was going to say something. You know, she does perfect neutrals. This reminds me a lot of Beautiful Beige. Maybe I could do that for my 4th of July. No, I need Lugana. So I don't remember what it was that I was messaging her, but I messaged her something. She was so responsive and messaged me back. And then I got a new debit card. You know how the credit card, debit card replaces. It expired in February, and I'm placing all these orders. And so I was trying to update my card, and I was having difficulty, so I messaged back again. And she was always just so kind and so responsive, and never made me feel like, look at the frequently asked questions and figure it out yourself. You know, some companies will do that, and you're like, okay, but Angela is not like that. And so join her group, the Facebook group. I noticed that they post stuff there. She has had some special editions, some extra cuts. That's what I think this was. And there was a batch of misdyed fabric and misdyed thread. And instead of just throwing it out, she said, hey, you guys want it? I'll offer it. And so she put it up. It sold out before I could even get it. Oh my gosh, that story. Okay, so I put it in my cart and got distracted by the Huskies and never did place the order. Well, part of it was, you know, I was putting that in my cart and I was looking to see, was there any other things that I needed? I want to make sure there was no other fabric that had come out, or did she add a special edition thread? But I got distracted by the Husky and thought I had placed the order, and I hadn't. So when I went back later that night and got on my laptop again, I noticed, uh-oh, the order wasn't placed. And yeah, it was out of stock. Well, she had extra. So she put it up there again. She even had to notify me. So I got the notification. I went right up. I placed my order. But I also noticed that I could add it to my shipment. So there are still some misdyed, and it is a great bargain. I think it's like 20 yards for $5 or something. Run, don't walk. Look and see if they have it. See if they have colors you want. The red, so excited to get that. I can hardly wait. So excited. So thank you so much, Angela. In fact, I think there's another club shipment or something that's in my box right now that's either from Be Stitch Me or from her. Forgot to go out and get the mail. Gotta go get the mail. This is from Be Stitch Me, and this is an order. It's so funny because the little note on the bottom says, Happy Thanksgiving, Brandy. Brandy from Be Stitch Me. And I'm like, Happy Thanksgiving. And my first thought was, well, there's no thread on here. This is the wrong thing. Well, they're both 28 count. This can't be right. I placed this order. It's probably the Black Friday sale, and I just got it. Oh, Brandy's been so busy. She was at market. I'm very excited for her, and I'm excited to find out which shops might be carrying her products as well. So this, and they're both beautiful. They're both worth the wait. This is vintage 28 count Lugana. It's pink. It's a warm pink, but it's a light pink. It is so pretty. It's a little bit darker than it's showing up here. Of course, I'm in a very bright colors room, and it is getting darker. And then the second thing, I have been on the search for a brown. So I ordered Acorns. This is a great dark brown. Now, if only I could remember what I ordered this for. Oops. It's pretty true. I love the modeling on it. The thing is, if you've stitched before with modeling, you know this, that it kind of fades into the background. It just adds a little bit of depth, I would say, to your finished stitch project, because your stitching is going to show up, and the texture of it. And this just adds something of interest to the background without taking away, usually, without taking away from the stitching. That's going to be a great neutral. And then I got an order from Fat Quarter Shop. They have fabric flare on sale, which you know I love. So I got a couple of different fabric flares. I also got Night Sky finally came in. What did I do recently on that? And everybody was saying, what did you... Maybe that love, but there was something else I did the Night Sky on. I can't remember right now. But the Night Sky Ada, and if you are having trouble seeing black, which I do, that would be a great one for any of those stitching with the housewives or the chalkboard look. And for me, it's a lot easier to see. This was one of their flash sales. Thought that would be a really fun thing to make, and maybe even use some of that vintage cloth that I got from, that wasn't from Etsy. I might have said Etsy earlier. That was eBay. This I keep loving every time I see it, and I added it to my cart along with, I think, the threads to go with it. This is, I don't know if it's Lila's boutique or Lila's studio or Lila's studio, but it's winter. I guess it's called Seasons Winter. And I like the other, I really like the spring one too. So I'll probably eventually get the entire series. Got the fabric to go with it. And then, of course, heart. This is from Shepherd's Bush, and they've done it on the bags that Fat Quarter Shop sells. It's so in my bags. That is my haul. Yay! One more thing to share with you, and then I'll get to my final video. I wonder if you can hear my family talking in the background. So this past weekend, I said in my last video, we're going to go down to Eugene, Oregon. That got put on hold. So if you have any shops between Portland and Eugene, any needlework shops or craft shops or quilt shops, let me know, because my husband's now thinking about doing 2 days over in Eugene, and he's got work to do, and then I would go and tootle around and do some shopping. I might head over to the coast and go up that way and check out some shops, because there are lots of little quilt shops and things along the coast, but nobody ever wants to stop for that. What is wrong with them? So please leave a comment about that below. But instead, we met his aunt and uncle in Florence, Oregon. So I got to see the ocean. I didn't buy anything on the ocean except this one thing at, what's it called? Pig in a Pancake is the name of the place we stopped. And this is to put sand in. It's got a little bracelet with a seashell charm. It's to put sand in from the different beaches, but I looked at it and go, ooh, new ort jar. To put my orts in. So I'm going to leave you with a video of some of the ocean that we saw. It was a beautiful sunny day. We just, for the beginning of March, it was just luck that we happened to have such a gorgeous weekend. We had a wonderful drive. I want to go back again. I want a house on the ocean. If anyone knows how to make that happen for me, I'd be happy to, you know, I want to live on the ocean where I can hear the waves crashing, like leave the window open and see the sunsets. Oh, the sunset. That first night was, we almost didn't make it there in time to see it, but oh, it was so beautiful. And I was walking along the beach, and I just told my husband, I feel joy and peace flooding me. I felt like the anxiety and depression and the turmoil just kind of melted away, and in its place was this calmness, but at the same time this pure happiness, pure joy. And so I think I need some more of that. And if you find something that does that for you, try and do it some more. And I'm going to try and do it some more. and I'm going to try and get this thing quilted. So if you stuck with me this long, I'm so glad that you're still with me. I hope you find something that brings peace to your soul, joy, comfort, and hope as well. And I will see you in my next video, hopefully next week. Bye.